Okay, I think we live. Welcome, Paris.
How you
Uh,
doing?
Emmy winning producer, songwriter, song man. I don't even know what you call that. You call the women songstresses.
That would be a woman. So singer, songwriter, producer, Emmy Award winner.
All right, that's hot. Let me do the intro and I'll get right back with you.
Okay.
Fresh, guess I was freezed up, fresh out of the deeper. Freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speed up.
Uh-huh.
Anonymous activity, Bobby B stuff. Jealousy's a ski mask, emotion, and ease up. Fresh out of the freezer.
Uh-huh.
Fresh, guess I was freezed up, fresh out of the deeper. Freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that up there real quick so that we can start off. That's my little intro, blasting and blasting the music in the crew. Had a whole nother intro on their joint, and it just blew me away. Theirs blew me away. I was like, oh shoot. So I'm gonna have to make me a real intro. That's a put together intro real quick, but I'm gonna have to make me a real intro. Welcome, sir. I'm glad to have you.
I'm happy to be here with you finally.
Now I know. I was working on it. I told you, I'm gonna take a little time to try to build the channel up a little bit. I was happy to actually have Blast Radio 247 come in as my co-sponsor. So it made my reach a little bit further, give me an opportunity to be able to send you guys out over a greater airway than what I have. Get what I'm saying? So you're not just broadcasting here, but you're broadcasting on Blast Music 247. You're broadcasting on Blast Radio and then also on their Facebook page as well as on my page.
Yeah.
So anytime that it cuts out, I'm gonna stop and then proceed on, okay? Um
Yeah, it's still cutting out on your end.
yeah, I see it because it keeps going black on my end. But that's what I'm saying. Anytime I can see it cut out, because the camera will go black. But anytime it does, I'm just gonna stop for a second and let it come back up, and then I'll continue on from there. Okay?
Yeah, it's still cutting out on your end a little bit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you really good when you're talking, but then it freezes and then it starts doing that little.
Okay.
But you're
I'm
good
gonna have
right
to,
now.
yeah, I'm gonna have to figure that out because it's been doing that ever since I set up. Like like right now, it's doing it right now, and I don't know what that is. I can't see you. I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's doing that right there. Can you can you hear me? Can you see me? I don't know what that is, Paris. Can you call out and try it again? I don't know what that is, baby. I'm trying to get it right. I see that it keeps freezing up. I don't know what that is or why it is. I'm gonna try and bring me back up. It's not working. There you go. All right, there you go. I need to go back out, I guess, and come back in because can you at least hear me?
I can hear you really well.
Okay, I see you can't see me because something happened. It's sort of froze or something.
Is
So
it raining? Are y'all having bad weather there?
it's a little bit cold, but it's not actually raining. Let me see if I can't go out and can you hear me?
Can hear you, can't see you.
Yeah, I see that. I can't I don't know what that is. I'm an old head and I can't figure out how to fix it just yet.
Touch
but
your
I'm
screen and go to the bottom and click on your camera.
say that again.
Touch your screen and go to the bottom where it says mic, cam, chat, and touch your camera.
Okay. All right. Well, that's my camera. That's my camera off. I don't know what it was happening with it. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to pull me up visually, but at least you got a chance to see me a little bit. Now, questions. I want to run 5 questions by you.
You what?
I want to run 5 questions by you.
Okay.
So 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Okay. Who that back there? They making some ribs?
Nah, that's PJ.
He ain't making no ribs back
He,
there.
he getting some ice.
Oh
Now
shoot! Tell him I'm a person that like ice. Don't even say that. I be
so
in
we
here and
good
you,
now.
I be in here crunch, crunch, crunching, crunch, crunch. Okay, question. Well, that's good. At least I can put my glasses back on. I won't look like nerd of the month. On screen. 5 questions. Evolution of sound. How has your musical style evolved over the years?
um, I would say I've I've really homed in after working with so many different producers on different ways to approach a song. Um, when I put all the collective together of all the people I've worked with and had the pleasure of working with, you take a little bit from here to there and you bring it all together and make like I guess a gumbo, so to speak. I can dig in the hat and pull out what I need to pull out at any particular time. May it be me collaborating with a rapper I know to come a little harder, a little gangster with it here and there. Sometimes it just requires me to be, straight R&B guy. You know what I mean? But I think um, I've always just tried to keep things the way I do it, and keeping things to where when people hear it, they know it's me immediately. And I always hear from people that, your voice still sounds the same. You haven't changed. And I think that has a lot to do with not being a drug addict, not smoking and all that stuff. I feel like you need your voice, the timbre in your voice with being a singer. You need the timbre in your voice to stay strong as you can possibly keep it. So I don't smoke or nothing like that. So I try to keep my lungs as healthy as possible to keep that sound etiquette on point.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Me being a poet, um, I learned how to throw my voice more so than I'm asthmatic, so it's harder for me to talk and breathe in. So what I learned as a poet was to actually stand away from the mic and
Hmm.
throw my voice so that they'll pick up everything but that wheezing or that sound, you know what I mean? But sometimes I hear it when I'm doing broadcasts and stuff. You can hear the little hesitation in my lungs. So that's a wonderful thing. That's a great way to look at things. Is there a particular moment when you changed?
No, I've never really changed what I was doing. I ain't gonna lie. When the turn started shift, music started shifting a little bit. It made me, after having meetings with people, because a lot of the people that were musically inclined that was working at these record labels, a lot of the guys that I looked up to weren't in office no more. So it's like there's newer people in there that may not understand R&B music that you're having to have meetings with, you know, and it made me kind of second guess myself a little bit. Sometimes, like, am I doing something wrong? This is what's gotten me to this point. um, I'm wondering what it is that these people don't get. They don't understand what to do with what I'm doing. I'm like, I don't know. But now I see there's a resurgence that's been happening over the last year, with mainly women, you know, um, her, LMA, Money Long, all these different females have been like kind of lightweight, carrying the torch with the R&B music, with putting it back where it should be. And I felt like this is the perfect time for me and some of the other men, to put some paint where it ain't out here and let people know that we still here. You know what I mean? And opposed to doing a bunch of trendy records that fit and work for one summer and then they're gone. And I feel like might be a little all over the place, but I just feel like that's a really broad question. I don't think I've changed. I just feel like it's time for me to do what I've always done, because there's people now looking for what I've always been great at doing. And I guess that's a better way to answer that question.
You ever thought about doing vocal coaching for any of them, as far as artist management and development?
Well, my label provides that. PJ is there. My boy Corey, who worked with some of the greats. He worked with Diddy and Andre Harrell and all them over at Uptown Records, worked at Atlantic. So they understand from like back then, there's a certain formula you had to have as far as being able to talk, how to project your voice. So they put you, like back in the day, we even did tap dancing classes for coordination and stuff, for dancing and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's the best way to put this. I think, ask your question one more time, because I don't want to be all over the place. What is your question one more time?
My question was, have you ever considered doing vocal coaching, considered through artist development and management?
And the closest I've came to artist vocal coaching has been, I've never really been one except when I was in church teaching people harmonies and stuff. The closest I come to that is when I'm in the studio producing somebody on a song, telling them what to sing and how to project and this, that, and the third. I've never sat in front of a piano and trained somebody's voice. I've never done that. That's not my thing. I go into the studio once they're past that level, then they come to me, and I get them in the studio and record a record with them. Once they get to the point to where they're ready to record, I'm the guy that helps them get a nice, clean sound recording done.
The reason why I asked that, because I was always an executive for the record company that I worked for, and mostly I dealt with the rappers. Because I'm a DJ, so I mess with the rappers a lot, and I found out that even being in management, that I always had to develop their skills, and I was able to develop their skills because I'm a poet.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And but I find it to be very tedious sometimes, because when people get into the booth, like you said, you mentioned a couple names, but when people get in there, because they don't have that artist development behind them, they don't have that riff, like you're talking about, that ability to be able to uh present R&B the way that it really should be presented. They're a little bit laxed.
Yeah, yeah, and it's definitely a mastering, from singing R&B music to singing gospel, and then now they're basically saying pop, but I feel like pop ain't nothing but R&B music. You know what I mean? It's R&B music. You know what I mean? If you approach it differently, I guess, and take all the bass out and you make it real fun, and it's pop now. You know what I mean? But back when we were doing things, it was all popular music, whatever genre you was in. If it was popular, that was considered the pop charts. You make the pop charts.
Yeah.
Now they're making pop a genre. You know what I mean? But really, it's nothing but R&B music. It's the same soup reheated to me.
Absolutely, like Cameo, they would be considered pop right now.
Cameo would be considered pop R&B,
Mm-hmm.
but then
So
that's been thrown into the category as urban AC.
yeah, I know. I miss those. I miss those kind of groups. So, but I miss actual musicians who have a band behind them and can perform to a band and live instruments and stuff. I love the producers and their creativity. However, because I'm a DJ, I go back before the producers. You know what I mean? Where you actually had to sample and pull off and grab that and catch that and throw that in, and you know what I mean. So it's a little different listening to what they're putting out right now. To me, it seems a bit lazy. You know what I mean? Like they're But anyway, let's go on. Collaborations. Most memorable collaboration.
Mm, that's probably gonna be with my homie with Neo. Um, for a long time, me and him was disconnected. We weren't around each other when he blew up. We went from kicking it and seeing each other all the time, and then he got his deal and blew up, and then he moved away. So I wasn't able to connect with him. Communication got lost in the shuffle, not being able to reach him through our friends and stuff. People didn't want to give his number, and eventually I ran into him and we reconnected. And I've done 2 songs with him for my new album, which is really dope. So that's gonna have to be Neo.
Okay. I like Neo. I'm waiting for him. I'm There you go again. Okay. I'm waiting for him at this point to come out with another album, Like he's been laying down for a minute. I'm waiting for Neo to come back with something because, the way that he comes, he gives that everything. He gives
Yeah,
that pop, he gives that R&B, he gives a little bit of
well,
everything.
yeah. Well, he gives you R&B, and it reaches the pop charts. It's straight R&B. He's actually in the studio right now, working on music right now. He's in the
Okay,
studio right now.
that's good. Tell Neo, come on and do an interview. Let's talk to him. Make sure you drop that on him. Say, yeah, there's somebody over there want to interview you, bro. Anyway, impact. What type of has anyone ever came to you, like in my last stream when I introduced myself on Blast, I was explaining how one of the ad lib artists here in Orlando that he had an operation a couple months ago. He came to spend New Year's Eve with me, and we just sat in the studio and just clowned out and did everything. And he just started crying out of nowhere, and I'm trying to figure out, why are you crying? And he explained to me that, he said, Tosh, I had an operation a couple months ago and I couldn't talk. He said every time I would say something to someone, it was like they couldn't understand what I was saying. It was like gibberish to him. He said, and so sitting with you tonight, he said, I actually got my voice back. I can speak. And that touched me. Like he was crying, but after he left, I started crying myself because that was a blessing to me. So is there anyone in your life that has been impacted like that from your music, or a profound reaction to a certain song? Or
It's happened a few times. I would say the most memorable time was a guy he was going through a hard time. I met the guy, didn't know him from Adam. He didn't know me, but he was homeless, and he was sitting outside the gas station. And I asked him, I said, "You okay?" I was like, "Can I buy you some food or whatever?" So there was a restaurant next door, Jack in the Box, and we got him some food. And I just sat there for a second and I talked to him and I asked him, how did he end up out there? And he told me that, he lost his job. His wife started telling him he was a no good, or maybe it might have been his girlfriend. I don't know if they was married. His wife the girl was saying he was no good and he's not a good example for their kids after all the years of him being successful. He lost his job, a lot of stuff, and he lost his pension. And he was saying that she was spending a lot of his money, like just spending it on stupid stuff, like purses and shoes and, partying and just kicking it. And he spoke up about it and he lost his job. So a lot of the reserve money that they had was gone. And he told me that, he was always inspired by music. He wanted to do music outside of that. And I forgot what his job was, but the guy told me You know, I've always wanted to do music. I just never been given an opportunity. And I said, I don't know. I might regret it. I was like, but you want to roll with me real quick? So I took him to the studio. Come to find out, this guy can sing his butt off. It was a white guy. He was ridiculous. He played guitar, and I'm sitting here listening to him. And he's like, so what do you do? And I told him I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. I didn't tell him who I was, what I was doing, who I was with, or anything like that. And I turned on this song that I did called "God Made You Just for Me," and a song I produced with Sauce. And I played the song. Man, the guy started bawling, and he told me that the song reminded him of his wife, his daughter. He said took him there because of the title. He's feeling like God made them just for him, and then he wasn't with them no more. And I was lost for words. I didn't know what to tell him. I was in a spot where, like, what do I say to this dude? I've never been married. You know, I've never been in a situation where I didn't know how to get back in touch with my daughter, or, you know what I'm saying? So I just sat there and heard him out. And I was like, man, well, I changed the subject. I said, well, man, if you feel up to it, man, we can, let's create a song and see, can you do some recording? Let's try to live out some of your dream and get some recording done. He's like, you do that? I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. So I pulled up a whole bunch of tracks, and he picked the one he liked. We wrote to it. And from that day forward, he told me he was not going to stop. He wasn't going to look back. So I ended up recording like 3 songs on this guy. And the guy now works at a record label. He decided not to sing no more, but it connected him with music. He works at a record label in New York now. So
That's all right, because that's exactly what happened to me over here with Quan. It was like, okay, Taj, like this my year. Like I'm a get it together, and I'm gonna do it this year. I'm gonna do it. You know, like I was so happy to hear him say that. You know, and then every time I speak to him now, he got something to bring me. Like, yo, listen to this right here. You know, like he's still using his voice that he didn't have to continue on down the path. So it was like beautiful to be able to see stuff like that. Now, my question: challenges and growth. What sort of challenges have you had over the years, and what has grown about you since then?
challenges I've had was just trying to, I had to accept that there's different people out here in the world. I'm going to leave it at that. There's people out here that are different. And instead of me just condemning them and saying, I don't want you around me, stay away from me, I don't want that energy around me, as a man, I've grown to want to understand people that are different, may have been raised differently than me, because that don't make you wrong because you've been raised differently, or life has dealt you a different hand and made you a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, so I'd say um, that was a challenge for me to overcome my own fears, my own, um, and you know, we can say it all day that we're not, but I found myself judging somebody about something that they were into that I wasn't. You know what I mean? So I had to accept that there's people out here that are different. And I have to just accept that. I don't have to indulge, but I have to accept it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I was taught to love everybody. And I still am that way to this day. I'll give the shirt off of my back. I love people. If you good people, I don't care what you're like. Really, I don't care what you smoke, what you drink, what your sexual preference is. I don't care what type of religion you are. If you good people and you friends with me and you treat me nice, I'm gonna love you back the same way. That was a growth thing for me to get to that point.
I'm still working on it. Pray for me.
Funny.
I'm still working on it. You know, I'll cut them, shut them down. Like, look, go ahead now. You know,
That's
because my
funny.
experience has been a little different as a woman. You know what I'm saying? My experience has been much different as a woman, to where I have to literally shut them out of my energy because it becomes draining for me. You know what I mean? And so I'm still working on that part of my growth. You get what I'm
Well, you
saying?
do,
Like I
you do have to draw a line, because there's some people, you may not like what they do, but they'll try to force what they do on you, and that's when you have to put that wall up and draw a line. I can respect it because that's what you do, but just keep it over there. You know what I mean? As long as you respect me over here, we good. You know.
as homeboy in the back with ribs.
Oh my God.
That's a with a rib. Um um uh Music wise, what is one of your favorite songs over the years?
It's probably gonna be Donny Hathaway, a song for you.
Okay. And that's the one that you won the Emmy for, right?
No,
What
that
what
was
did you
Curtis. The Emmy was won for a remake of Curtis Mayfield's song "People Get Ready."
Can you sing a little bit? I'm not certain on what that song is.
People get ready. There's a train coming. You remember that?
Yes, yes.
That's People Get Ready. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that song.
yeah.
I
It
ain't hear
was.
you say that again. Uh-oh, you done dipped out again. You gone. Wait a minute. I don't know what's going on with this here stream. This stream just is crazy. Maybe you gotta call back in. Can you call back in, baby, and call back in? I don't know what's wrong with this stream. I'm gonna have to take a look at this doggone internet. The internet. Um and but I have maybe one or two more questions if you're able to call back in and go out and call back in. Oh no, there you go. There you go. Okay, there you are. There you are. All right. Unmute your mic. Okay, there you are. I'm
He keep
sorry.
trying to
This
call me.
Oh, somebody's trying to call.
It's all good.
Okay. Okay, so now with your music, do you rely
That is happening. Mark my words. I don't even know if I've really said it.
do you rely on musical talent alone, or visuals to go along with the presentation?
It all works hand in hand together. But the beautiful thing about music, you can close your eyes and that music should take you somewhere. You know what I mean? You don't have to visually be connected with nothing, visually, but it helps. It doesn't hurt to have a visual to go along with your music. Um, I don't just depend on, to twist it a little bit more to add to it. I don't just depend on the music to carry. I feel like you're only as strong as the team you have connected to you. If you have the wrong team around you, you can have the greatest music, you ain't going nowhere. You got to have the right people around you to help exploit the talent to get it out to where it needs to go.
Okay. Now, the 5 questions are over with, so we can just kind of kick it from here. Now, you have a new song out right now called "Thick Body,"
Hmm.
and it's like killing the charts right now. It's killing the radio. And hey, Mike McKenzie, good evening. Glad to have you. But it's killing the airways right now. Um, is there anything that I heard the original, and then I heard the Afro beats version, and then I heard a new version,
The
which
sexy
is like,
mix.
yeah, it is like absolutely off the charts. And I'm wondering to what um to what grandness would you like for it to go? Like, how far would you like
I
for it
would
to
like
go?
that. I would like that song to become an anthem for curvy women all over the world. That I want that to be their anthem. You know, stand up proud and say, "I know I got that big body," and
You
it's
know,
and it's beautiful.
so many fellas out here in the world talking about them women like a dog, bro. And I look like that naturally without no shot, without no
Yeah.
anything. I just look like that. I've been looking like that since 10 years old. And, to hear so much criticism about the way that women look and the way that women are, and it's so painful to hear, because all my life I have looked a certain kind of way without, before all the BBLs and all the different stuff. I've always looked this way, and it's always been a hindrance, it seems, in the community of men, because I'm a emotional individual, but when they see me, it's a throw off to them. So when you made that song, um, I was happy to see a lot of the women actually respond to the song. I don't know if you want to plug that song and um, how to listen to it.
Yeah, it's available. Thick Body by Parrice. That's P as in Patrick, ARRICE. It's available on all digital platforms right now.
Can you want to give them a sample so that they know what they're listening to?
Now I'm gonna send you a link and you can play it.
Oh, I can play it.
Yeah, it's out.
Oh shoot! Can I play it on here? Will it play on here?
You have it, don't you?
No.
I sent it to you.
Where are you sending it to to my phone? Put it in.
Um,
Can you put it in the chat?
let's see.
Yeah, let's put it in the chat. See if we can pull it up.
It
Is it
won't.
on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Okay. I guess he'll be back in a minute. He said somebody keep trying to call him. So listen, we over here talking. Get up out of here with that. We try and kick it. Mike McKenzie, how you doing this evening? I'm glad you there. I'm glad to see you again this week, bro. And hope that you stay with us for a little while. We can work on some different things and have some different people in the building. Um, I'm happy to have this young man here. This man is one of the very greats out there in the world. The just being amongst him and knowing all the things that he can do. It's so, for me. It's just an honor to actually be in his presence, because I've listened to him go over, different places. He's been a part of uh Levert 2. He's been a part of As Yet. He's been a part of Black Street. He's been a part of so many different things, that to see him actually in action, I was saying, to see you in action is like such an amazing thing, because I've listened to you over the years, and known how well you're coordinated when it comes to the music.
Mm-hmm.
I brag on you all the time, because I come from a musical background.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and my dad, who is the legendary Mr. Philly Brown, my dad have, inherently given me the gift of music.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I can, I have the gift of drum in my head, in my chest, in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
so I can hear a beat under a beat under a beat. Like where everybody else might listen to the upper beat, I'm gonna listen to the rhythm underneath the beat, because I can hear all those rhythms. And and a lot of people kind of they get at women sometime, because I don't think that, some people don't expect women to know things as well as.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But then, like I said in my last broadcast, I let my work speak for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, the ability to be able to present um as I go along was one of those gifts that was natural for me. Like I've always been able to look at any room and turn it into something real quick. Like I could turn a show into a regular room, a room into a whole show. You
Very
know,
nice. Everybody don't have that gift to do that either.
I-
That's the dope thing about you.
man, and I'm so blessed and thankful to God because of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm very thankful to God for allowing me to um hone in on his skill, because we all know that, our blessings come from God first.
That's where the gift comes from.
Yeah, and so I'm always thankful to be able to do it. Like, I surprise so many people when they see me, they don't know that it's me. When they know my name, but then when they see me, it's so stunning. Like, oh, that's you. And I had to take my little funky bow, like, yeah, that's me. You know what I'm saying? Because what I look like and who I really am don't match. You
Yeah,
you get what I'm
cause you
saying?
kind of gangster and elegant all at the same time.
Yeah, what I look like and who I am don't match. So it takes people by surprise when they finally figure out that's you. So I laugh a little bit. Me and Dougie Fresh was laughing last week or so about, when I was little and I opened up for them as a DJ, him and Slick Rick years ago. And
Hmm.
and and he asked me the same question that Slick Rick asked me. That can't be.
You know
Like,
what's crazy? What's crazy is you mentioned Dougie Fresh. He actually won the Emmy Award with us. He was on the song with us.
get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah. I just asked him a couple of days ago, did he want to do an interview? He said it's gonna be a few minutes, but he'll come through, you
yeah.
know.
He won the Emmy Award with us. He was on the song on the People Get Ready song with us.
That's all right. Yeah, because Doug is very talented, and a lot of people think that he's just a beatbox person, but he's actually very talented when it comes to the music.
You have to be able to connect with it the way he does. So it's all
Now,
good. But I found the
anybody
song.
else?
If you want me to play it, I found it.
Can you? Because I don't, I'm an old head.
Check
I
it
don't
out.
know how to do all that clickety clack stuff.
All right, check it.
You got that big body. 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 Oh, you got that big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big. Oh, you got that big body. Big, 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 big. Got that big body. Southern girl, pretty face like she came from the island. From the island. I see the front, but I can't wait just to see it from behind. Yeah. Big ass, big legs like a Clydesdale stallion. Stallion. Come to my team, cause you're batting like 1,000. You got that big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big. You got that sick body, body, sick body, body, sick body, body, sick body. It's ridiculous. You got that big body, body, big body, body, big body, 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 big. You got that sick body, body, sick body, body, sick body. You got that sick body. You got that bounce like hydraulics on an old school Chevy. With the top down, bumps in the trunk. What I wouldn't do for you to drop it on me like it's heavy. Wonder if I can fit with it and get with it. Oh, it seems like you're ready, so ready. You got that big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big body, got that big body, baby. Big body, body, big body, body, big body, so ridiculous. Big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big body, got that big body, baby. Big body, body, big body, oh. Pretty face like she came from the island. Pretty face like she came from the island. Pretty face like she came from the island. You got that big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big body, got that big body, baby. Big body, body, big body, body, big body, it's ridiculous. Big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, big body, body, ridiculous. Big body, body, big body, body, big body.
by PARRICE Sexy Mix.
All right. And where can they listen to it at? Where can they find it at?
It's available on all digital platforms.
Apple,
Everywhere.
Spotify. Okay.
Everywhere.
YouTube.
Everywhere.
Okay. I mean, I gotta ask because I gotta ask.
It's
You
everywhere.
know, the part I like that that do 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 underneath. You know what I'm talking about? That
On
little
the
underneath.
You talking
You know
about
what
the
I'm saying?
bridge?
Yeah, that little underneath, man. I really love that. And then the way that it rips at the end, that that thick body. Underneath that. I can't
Yeah,
sing that. I can't sing like that, but I try it ain't that again. So my voice went, oh, I'll be in here practicing. I'm a good mimicker, though, damn it. I'll be in here practicing by I'll be here practicing by my damn self. My cousin put me on this butter shots or something like that. I be putting that in my coffee. I turn right into Mary J. Blige, Roy. You don't even know.
that's
Be-
funny.
I'll tell you, be in here singing my heart out like I think I'm Minnie Riperton, miss every damn beat, every rhythm,
You are funny.
but I'm gonna try it every time. Damn it, yeah, Paris. I'm glad that you joined us tonight.
My
Is
pleasure.
there any advice that you can give to some of the listeners, because Blast Music has an array of artists on their website, and I'm quite certain, coming from a real professional, your critiques and your overall information would be probably appreciated for them. They would appreciate it. What can you give them as far as
Well,
advice?
I would say, regardless if you do music, if you're acting, if you're working a 9 to 5 job, if you want to go hard with that and go somewhere with it, learn as much as you possibly can about the business that you're going into. That way, no one could, pull a hoodie over your eyes, or they can't blindfold you to something that you'll know. You know what I mean? Anytime you're doing something that's as lucrative, there's people out here that may not be as talented as you are. They may just want to leech on to you and take you for all your money, all of what you might have earned. You know, I feel like you should know as much as you possibly can about the business that you're going to, and don't just settle for okay. It's okay to take a little more time on something to make sure it's better than just okay. You don't need no one's permission to be great, and I feel like that's a recipe for success.
Contractual. What type of advice do you have them as far as independency and contractual?
It ain't even necessarily about independency. It's more because there's some people that might not be born to be independent, to be their own boss. Everybody ain't born bosses. Some people need to be led. Everybody's not a chief. Some people may need to be signed to a major label. It's a give and take. If you're independent and you got the money to do it yourself if you feel like you can. No, take a shot at it. You know what I mean? Bet on you. But if you know you don't know what to do and you have the gift, present your gift around and figure out who can help you take your gift to that next level, help you exploit it and get it out there to the world. Your gift is supposed to make room for you. Don't block your own blessings by being ignorant, by saying, I want to be my own boss. And there's no law saying you can't learn as you go. But I'd say, whatever fits you. If you feel like you can do it yourself, do it yourself. You know what I mean? Contractually, make sure you have managers to help you make decisions, to help consult you, as well as lawyers. Have lawyers look at your paperwork. Don't sign nothing that you don't understand.
Now, see, for me as artist management, I was an executive A&R and into artist management and development. But me as artist management, my advice always is, don't think you're the best all the time. Like a lot of them come in like microwave popcorn people, and they may make one song And then after one song, they disappear on you, and they utilize that song without having a backup arsenal. And I'm always getting on people about stay in your craft. Don't take one song, think it's a hit, and then run with it, and then don't have no armor and no ammo afterward.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
you have to have a plan. You have to have something that comes out, and you have to have something that comes with it to combat it. You know what I mean? You have to have a follow up, a couple of follow ups nowadays. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you're saying it right. Don't limit yourself. If you do it once, you can make a great song again. Just keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah, I always suggest, because I'm literally in the studio with them, like nah, do that again. Like nah, do that again. You get what I'm saying? Because I can be a little bit of a perfectionist in some areas in the music. You know what I mean? Because I want it to sound a certain kind of way so that when music is a conduit to emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize that, you know what I mean? So they'll go in and throw anything on a record and then expect people to just take to it. And I'm saying to them, no, you have to
Mm-hmm.
literally be able to grab a hold of the person when you start singing, and you got to keep them hold. You have to keep them held on. Like there's some things that they'll be good at, and then some things they're terrible at. And as artist management, I don't sometimes I get a little angry and frustrated, because what I want them to do is recognize that everybody is not against you in the studio. Like when you're in the studio, somebody critique you about something, rise to the occasion. Don't fall down and break down. You know? Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't fall to the ground and break down, because for you to crumble like that, when people see that on stage or in person, they're going to really take hold of that and look at you as an artist like this, somebody that we can't really work with because they don't have enough stamina in this
Right.
business. Like, you have to have the stamina to be able to last out in this business. And a
Right.
lot of people don't have that stamina. What they have is, like I said, they want to be instant stars, or they do it to be popular. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
always suggest against that. Don't work on popularity, work on craft.
Mm-hmm.
Work on abilities.
That's
And
right.
so I that was one of the advice points that I always try to make when I'm in the studio with people. And like, don't crumble, because this thing get funky.
Yeah.
Like, the
In real
further
life.
you ride, it turned into a whitewater rafting experience eventually. Like, so you
Mm-hmm.
got to know how to ride that wave when it comes to you. You can't just, everybody falling out with me. I can't, hit nah, You can't do none of that stuff around me, because then I'm gonna want to back up from you, because I know that this thing is gonna break you emotionally and mentally. You know what I mean? And so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times I turn down people who begin to show me those type of things when I'm in the process of developing them.
That's right.
Like I'll turn them down. Like, nah, I can't deal with you, because you're gonna get us hurt out there,
Mm-hmm.
crumbling like that. Like you have to have the stamina to be able to stay in this, and don't start blaming everybody because somebody don't like this or somebody don't like that. Get back in there and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I create a blend, if one blend don't get the um if it doesn't get the excitement that I thought it would have got, I create another blend. You get what I'm saying? Until it do get the excitement, until it do get that flavor. I try not to harp on just one thing. Like I mix between rock and roll. I mix pop. I mix rap. I mix. You know what I mean? Because everybody has a different taste and a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
style.
You have to make gumbo nowadays.
Yeah, because those are my um those are my advice and points, when it
Yeah,
comes
hence
to
hence
artists.
why hence why I did three different versions of Thick Body. That's why I did three different versions: the regular one, the Afro beats version, and then the sexy mix. I did all three because I know over in Africa they love Afro beats music over there. So I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
why not? It doesn't hurt me.
And there's some thick body girls over there, you
It's
know?
more thick body girls over there than there is here.
Yeah, so when you reach out that far, we reach out to everybody and not just ourselves. And that's a lot of times what we have to remind people going along in this music business, that it's more than yourself that you're trying to entice. It's more than me.
That's right.
Like I don't make the music for me. I make the music for y'all. And so I'm just happy to have you here, and I love the song. I mean, the new version. You know me. You know how I am. You know how I
Mm-hmm.
am when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to my ear and the way I listen to things. I the that last riff on the end of that joint is crazy. I
That's
had
what's
to
up.
listen to it. I had to listen to it 3 times. I listened to it. I did. I listened to it 3 times. I was like, oh, this is crazy. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm
wait a
glad you
minute,
like
listen
it.
to yeah, like wait a minute, listen to that right there. Like that last little riff is crazy. Especially on the end of it as it's going out, it has all
Mm-hmm.
those little sounds to it, yeah, I love it. But I don't want to hold you all night. I just wanted to take about an hour or so and
Yeah,
kick it with you and
no
look at
doubt.
you.
No
Make
doubt.
sure you are right over there.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm good. We
You
getting
want to
ready.
plug the basketball thing?
Basketball.
Yeah, the Paris Cares.
Well, we haven't done that in a while. When we start doing it again, I'll come back on with you again and announce it and let it be known. Paris Cares Foundation is my nonprofit. We do different celebrity games and different things like that to raise money for different causes. So yeah. So right now, I'm just focused on the music, the album, getting the music out there, and get ready to hit the road and start getting out there and touch the people again. You know.
And what about this little pre-Grammy party, the Grammy party? What about that
So,
their thing?
so we're getting ready to go down there, as I said earlier, and try to put out the fire. We're supposed to be doing that at SIR Studios in Hollywood, where a lot of well-known singers, producers, engineers, record execs, all of us come together, have a good, and there's going to be a few people receiving awards, record execs receiving awards for their work and bringing some of the best music and best artists to the game. They may not have ever been acknowledged for what they've done and contributed to the music game. So we want to give them their flowers as well. So I'm gonna get
Oh,
down here to LA and get things worked out so we can do it. And if for some reason we're not able to do it, we're gonna push it to another day. We're still gonna do it though.
okay. All right. I just wanted to give you your little moment to shine. I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. I appreciate you. Know
I
that I
appreciate you.
appreciate you. I have all kind of admiration for you. You know that. And
Absolutely.
I for coming and being my first actual you're my first. I said that I was going to begin the live shows this year, and you were my first
Oh
live.
wow.
Yeah, you were my first live artist. I have some other people lined up coming along the way, a couple artists and a couple rappers and some different people, but you were my actual first live, and I appreciate you. And
Yeah, my pleasure.
yeah, let's do it again sometime. Tell me what you need. If there's anything I can help with, I'm always here, you
Okay,
know.
that sounds good.
Okay. And
Yeah,
make sure you take care of yourself and keep pushing your songs because they're excellent. Keep pushing your craft because you're great at it.
thank you so much, sweetie.
All
And you
right. I
keep being who you are, giving people a platform to come and express themselves and, you know, get the word out about
absolutely.
what they're doing. That's what it's all about. Each one teach one and bring what they bring to the table. Mix that up. like I said earlier, it's a recipe for success.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I thank you, Paris, for coming in. All right.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a wonderful night.
You too, sweetie.
Your night is just beginning. It's a little
Hmm.
later over here, but it's just beginning evening over there where you are. So you make sure you enjoy your night. And as dude, where the ribs at?
That's
The
funny.
we making barbecue chicken and something, guys. What the world? Where the ribs
Yeah,
at?
he's just getting some ice for his water. That's funny.
Ice is good too. I like ice. All right.
Yeah.
Make sure you enjoy your day, enjoy your
You
night,
too, sweetie.
and all right. I love you all always. Much love.
Love, nothing but love. You already know what it is.
All right.
All
God
right.
bless. All right. So we had the wonderful Emmy award winning Paris here. And I hope that the tips that he gave some of you guys that you'll grab hold on because he's really good at what he does. And he also produces music. So if you want to reach out to him, like he said, there's his music is everywhere. And I believe he's also Paris on Instagram. You could probably find him there to reach out as far as producing music for you and doing things like that because he's absolutely good at what he does. When I tell you he's good at what he does, he's good at what he does, guys. And I'm just so happy to have him here this evening. And thank you guys as well, Mike, and all the other people that came through, Mike and Jimmy Buffett and and the blast crew. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you come back next week. We're gonna have somebody else next week that that you guys might be interested in as well. And thank you guys for coming and showing up.
Fresh, guess I was freezed up, fresh out of the deeper freezer, cause I'm deeper than any voice on speakers. I can't hear y'all haters, you gotta speak up. I don't need to slow down, I need to speed up. Anonymous activity, Bobby B stuff. Jealousy's a ski mask, the motion, and ease up. Fresh out of the freezer. Fresh, guess I was freezed up, fresh